Welcome, creative friends. Edna Edie here from The Creativity Activist, bringing you a Christmas-focused video today. And I would say Merry Christmas, because I think this is going to be posted just before Christmas, because I won't release it until the recipient has received it. But I decided to do a little series of boxes to put things in as a gift, and rather than like an advent calendar, I've decided to put merry and bright on the front of the boxes, and that means there's a box for each letter. And yeah, it's as simple as bringing together the boxes. I did use the candy box punch board from We Are Makers, and this is meant to make a bonbon style box, but I just used the punch cutting on the top, and then at the bottom I just measured up 4 centimeters and lopped it off and folded it up just to make them so that they are boxes that stand up. So when these stand up, you'll be able to stand them up all in a line, one line probably, and it spells merry and bright. Little Christmas wish. You could choose to keep them as a bit of a decoration or pay them forward next year to someone else. So I'm just going to walk through each of the boxes. I did use a paper range that my friend Sue Morgan split one of her paper packs with me. So I used that paper range just for making the individual boxes, and then I just reached into my stash. I haven't bought any new Christmas ranges this year. I have bought some little embellishments here and there, but I've tried to just dig from my stash, particularly for this make. So there's little mixes of vellum stars and bits of chipboard, and I did cut out, I bought this die last year that cut out the little Christmas lights, so I've done them in alternate colours of pink, and these big gold bows will stay on for the gifting process, but they may be swapped out for something else. I'm going to leave the tails long in case the recipient wants to reuse them. And then this is a little letter set that I have, and I've just stamped out merry and bright in black writing, and I fussy cut each of those. And each of the boxes is a different height because some of the boxes needed to be wider for what I was putting in them. So I thought if they have to be wider, only some of them, then I'm going to make them all different heights and sizes. So when they line up, when you're sitting them up and they line up, it looks like a village going up and down of all the little boxes. And so yeah, it's just a case of moving along for each of the boxes. This is really pretty paper, gorgeous. And so this, once again, I've used this on every one of the boxes in some way, just to bring that continuity of flow across the boxes. And I've kind of used I have used a star and the letter on every one of them, and then it's just a mixture of little goods, a little piece of chipboard. This is one of the Christmas trees that I bought from Hobby Lobby, and a little bow on that one there. And you can see just there is a little die cut pink house, also one of the dies that I bought. I think that one was from Michael's. So that's the E. And then the first R has this really big believe on there. So apart from all of the standard inclusions, I've kept believe as the primary feature there, and you'll see as we go along these tiny little stars, they're also a Hobby Lobby haul. Bringing in these beautiful Rosie Studio gold bits and pieces. A lot of these chipboards are from Rosie's as well, and these chipboards are Vicky Boughton. So that's the first R, a little postage stamp down the bottom there. And then this box here, which I think is one of the tallest boxes, I have this big nutcracker on there, and the little R, second R. Some puffy stickers in there, but generally following the theme as we go along. So all those consistent things bring the theme in. Same here, but this time with a little ornament. Layered up snowflakes, beautiful paper, bit of a pink theme. And then for the "and", I wanted to make it pretty grand, so I did use a frame. I think this deer is also from one of the Vicky Boughton ranges. A little flower out of my Christmas stash that somebody would have made me over the years. And deck the halls with love and laughter. So that's the "and" in the middle. And then moving on to the bright down the bottom here. Same thing, you'll see all of those similar elements, little puffies, little globe, little tree, some little puffy stars as well. So that's the B, and then the R has a little mouse with the candy canes. In fact, I think that one of those might belong up there. I might have to swap some of the R's around. I'll have to get them lined up in the order that I want them. And then this I here has a big chippy on there that I just pulled out of my range. A little felt house that came in an embellishment box that someone shared with me once. So good stash buster. And then this G with a big chippy on there as the main feature. And moving on to the H, where I used the Merry to ground the houses that sit in the background, and then I've put a little extra house and a tree beside the H there. And then finishing off with the T, so I wanted to use the peace sign and added the 25 onto there. So this is merry and bright, lots of crafty goods, particularly for the recipient in here. And I know they'll probably do an unboxing, so I'm going to leave it a mystery until then. Thoroughly enjoyed bringing this together. Have a merry and bright Christmas, everyone. Enjoy.